Welcome back, everybody. Local author Phương Liên Palafox recently released the children's book BUOY. It's a tale of her parents' remarkable journey from Vietnam. It just dropped last week, y'all. This is huge. She's joining us today to tell us more. Phương, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is so huge. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
Yes, we're talking about your parents' journey here from Vietnam. It's a pretty big story. Do you mind telling us a little bit about it?
Absolutely. This is my most favorite tale ever, and I read a lot of books. My dad was a South Vietnamese naval lieutenant, and things didn't go so well for him. After the war, he was in prison for 2 years. After that, they were like, hey, Kyung, you got an opportunity because of these naval skills to get some people to a different place. And so him and my mom got on a boat. He navigated it with 54 additional people.
Wow.
They went across the South China Sea. After a couple of weeks, they ended up in Hong Kong. And once they arrived at 3 a.m. that morning, I was born.
No way.
Crazy.
Your mom was like 9 months pregnant when she got on this boat.
She was.
Oh my gosh.
So it puts things in perspective. I know. I don't complain about much because that's what she did.
Sure. Oh man. And then so after they landed in Hong Kong, eventually your family has made it to the United States. Can you tell me more about that?
They did. They came into the United States when we reopened up our borders to accept more Vietnamese refugees. I grew up in Wiley, Texas. Not many people looked like me, and so this story really tethered me back to our history.
Yeah, so let's talk about why you wanted to write it. Put pen to paper. Yeah.
So by trade, I'm a speech language therapist, and so when I started working 20 years ago, I noticed that if Miss Fong starts off by telling her family's story and her journey, and I felt it and I meant it, the kids were like, oh, I feel safer. I want to share my stories. And so through the sharing of those tales, that's how I was able to support them on their communication, which has been meaningful. And that's what we get to do, share our stories when it's safe, and then let stories in that we may not know about.
Absolutely. And I think showing those kids, it's a bit of vulnerability.
Yes.
It kind of allows them to say, okay, she's human too.
Yes.
Oh,
and I love you just the way you are.
Mm-hmm. What a big message to send to kids.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the lessons that you're hoping kids take away from reading this. I mean, we have to talk about how beautiful this book is. Beautiful book.
Well, I will say the beauty of it is from Laura Ju, who is the illustrator, and she did such a beautiful job. I would say for me, thinking about this book, I did it for 3 reasons. So the first one is, immigrant stories and refugee stories need to be in literacy. So it's about representation.
Yep.
The second one is, for those who didn't have that lived experience, you get a window into tales and experiences, and when you have that, you feel it. Mm-hmm. And when we feel something, that's when ideas change and we can find commonality between ourselves and each other. And the last reason, it's been a little bit unexpected. I feel, so my mom passed away almost 2 decades ago, and she was my favorite storyteller. And in this process of writing it, I had to reach out to the one person who had all the details, which is my dad. And he's not much of a talker, but in these moments that we've had together, it's been really special and meaningful. And so for me, this has been a testament to healing between generations, within myself, and then now I get to share it with the world.
Oh, that's incredible. And you did touch on the beauty of this book. It's all painted pictures, right?
Laura painted everything.
It's
and
unbelievable, y'all. Like, look
you
at
can
these.
see every stroke and every... You can see everything. And I will say, this story has always existed in my head, in my heart.
Sure.
And it wasn't until Laura brought it to life where now I get to see it.
Oh.
So I can't look at it too much because my eyeballs get wet every single day.
You did.
And I'm a big feeler, so...
I cry all the time because this is your family that's being shown right here on the page. That's absolutely incredible. What are you hoping for... families to take away from this book? Who would be a great audience to picture, take a picture to this book?
One would assume children,
Yeah.
but what I have found, so I get to do workshops and trainings for educators and organizations, is that adults find so much meaning in it. And I think the tethering of families and our family histories and the stories of our ancestors. So I just hope that this fuels the heart, and that it gives peace and solace to those who need it, and it gives an experience that you may not have in your day-to-day living.
It kind of opens a window for those who may not understand the immigrant experience. I think that's huge. And we were talking off camera about there's a very special elementary school here in Austin that you get to do a lot of work with now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Summit Elementary School is in the Austin Independent School District, and multilingualism is so important to me because I grew up speaking and communicating in 2 languages, and it is the only 2-way dual language Vietnamese English program anywhere. And
That's
so,
incredible.
and then the Summit Lion dance team is there, so the culture is there. So to be able to put this book, I want it in all libraries, but that library in particular, it's going to be meaningful for the students. And they did focus groups. They gave Ms. Fong, Go Phuong comments and feedback. And so their love is in this book. So I'm excited.
And I know that there are some teachers who are on summer break right now.
Yes,
if they're
as
watching,
they should be.
as they should be, they work very hard.
Yes.
But if they're thinking, come fall, I'd love to have Miss Fong come to our classroom and read this book and talk to us about it. Can we get in touch with you? Will you come to schools?
Absolutely. They can look on my website at FongLinPalafox.com. But spending time with children is an honor and a privilege. And to make memories with them, let me know.
Oh, I love it. And where can we get a hold of this book?
You can look on my website, and there are independent bookstores, and you can find it online where books are sold.
Where books are sold. That's my favorite answer.
Yeah.
Miss Fong, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Of course. You can find BUOY online and keep an eye out at local bookshops, y'all. Learn more about the book and the fabulous author at FongLinPalafox.com.